Hello and welcome back. I'm Joseph Hoffman, and today we're going to learn a famous folk song from England called Lavender's Blue, which you might recognize from Disney's 2015 version of Cinderella.
Lavender's blue, dilly dilly, lavender's green. When you are king, dilly dilly, I shall be queen. Who told you so, dilly dilly, who told you so? 'Twas my own heart, dilly dilly, that told me so.
For Lavender's Blue, we're going to need a new solfege syllable. So let's review the 5 we already know. Can you sing along with me and make the hand signs? Here we go. Do, re, mi, fa, so. Now in Lavender's Blue, we need one step above so, which is called la. Kind of make a little arc shape with your hand. Let's try that one more time from the bottom. Go. Do, re, mi, fa, so, la. Now let's step back down, starting on la. La, so, fa, mi, re, do. Good job. Now, let's also review some of the intervals we've learned recently, but using solfege. So if we have do and then go up a second, which is another word for a step, we'd go do, re, do. Can you try that one with me and do the hand signs? Go. Do, re, do. Now let's try going up a third from do. So that would be do, mi, do. Try that with me. Go. Do, mi, do. Good. Now let's go up a fourth. Can you think of the solfege syllable that would be a fourth above do? If you said fa, you're correct. That would be do, fa, do. Try it with me. Do, fa, do. Now, what's up a fifth from do? If you said so, you're correct. Let's try it together. Go. Do, so, do. Now, here's our new one. If we go up a sixth from do, we'll land on la, like this. Do, la, do. Try it with me. Do, la, do. Great job. Now, I'm going to sing the first line of Lavender's Blue, and I'd like you to try to help me figure out the solfege for it. Ready? Listen to the first few notes. Ba, 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 ba. What would that be in solfege? The correct answer is do, so, so, so. Now listen to the next 4 notes. I'll add 4 notes to that pattern. We had bum, ba, 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 ba. What are those last few notes doing? That's right, they're stepping down. So it'd be fa, mi, re, do. Let's try that far in solfege. Go. Do, so, 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 fa, mi, re, do. Now listen to the next part. Ba, 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 ba. If you listen carefully, you'll hear that that's our new solfege syllable. Do, la, la, la. Let's try the whole first line in solfege now. Go. Do, so, 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 fa, mi, re, do, do, la, la, la. Super. Now, let's see what that looks like on the staff. All right, here's what we just sang. Do, so, 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 fa, mi, re, do, do, la, la, la. Can you sing that with me and point on your screen? Go. Do, so, 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 fa, mi, re, do, do, la, la, la. And don't forget to hold that 3 beats because we have a dotted half note. Now let's try to play that on the piano. Can you tell me the letter name of the first note of this song? If you said C or middle C, you're correct. The sheet music tells us to place finger 1 on middle C. So our position is the C major pentascale. Now, the first line will sound like this. Do, so, 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 fa, mi, re, do, do, la, la, la. Did you notice something tricky that happened? La is not in our pentascale. We have do, re, mi, fa, so. So when we have to do do, la, I actually have to glide up one note higher than we're used to playing. Okay, now what I recommend not doing is just stretching your pinky up. Just glide your whole hand up. That will be a lot more comfortable. It's not correct to stretch when you don't need to. And your other fingers can just come along for the ride as you go up to that La. And then shift back down to the C pentascale for the next line. Okay, watch one more time. We have do, so, 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 fa, mi, re, do, do. Glide up to La. Now I'd like you to press pause and try that a few times on your own, then press play to go on. Now, one thing I want to mention about playing these repeated so's in your pinky is to not do what I call the karate chop. Sometimes I see students go, lavender's blue, and just like hack at that note. Dilly, dilly, la, chop, chop, chop. No karate chopping. A, it gets all your other fingers out of position. It kind of makes an ugly sound, and it's not right for your pinky. You want your pinky to play near the tip, standing up, never flat and never chopped. Okay? Keep your pinky near the tip, and that keeps your other fingers in a better position. And you'll play more beautifully. Just kind of think of stroking that note up high rather than chopping it. Okay, so press pause one more time and play it and make sure that you're not karate chopping, that your pinky is playing near its tip. Press pause to try that once or twice, then press play to go on. Now, before we go on to line 2, let's notice a few things about the rhythm of this piece. First of all, can you find and point out to me the time signature of this piece? If you're pointing over here, you're correct. 3/4 is our time signature, and that means that because there's a 3 on top, that means we'll have 3 beats per measure. In this first measure, we have 1, 2, 3. Clearly that's 3 beats. Then a bar line tells us we're done with that measure. Now we have another beat here, 1, and then here we have these 4 notes all beamed together. So are these 8th notes or are they 16th notes? Let's come to the heartbeat mat to figure that out. In Lavender's Blue, here's the rhythm that we have. Now sometimes students see this rhythm and think it's ticky-ticky, 4 16th notes. But notice the difference, and here's the key thing, is that with 16th notes you always have 2 beams. This is just 4 8th notes together. We could write it this way, ta, ti, 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 ti. But when you have a string of 8th notes all in a row, it's allowed to just beam them all together, and it still sounds the same. It just would look like this. It's the exact same rhythm either way that you draw it. Ta, ti, 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 ta, ti, 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 ti. But not ta, ticky, ticky. Whenever you add another beam, it goes twice as fast as before. So this would be a totally different rhythm. Ta, ticky, ticky. This is ta, ti, 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 ti. 4 8th notes, which you can see takes up the space of 2 beats. Now that we know that these are in fact 8th notes, let's try singing the rhythm of line 1 using rhythm words. We'll start on ta, ready, go. Ta, 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 ti, 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 ta, 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 3. Now let's go on and work on line 2. I'd like to go on an interval hunt. Can you help me find some intervals on line 2? First off, can you find the interval of a third somewhere? Look through all the notes on line 2 and find a third, a melodic third. and point it to me. If you're pointing over here, you're correct. Remember, a third goes from a line to a line or a space to a space, and here we have that third. So I'm going to circle those two notes and write third. You can do that in your own music if you download and print the music from our website. Now, can you find the interval of a fourth somewhere on this line? Point to it for me. If you're pointing right here, from this C to an F is a fourth. Let's mark that. All right, fourth there. And you can do this in your own music. Now, one more interval I'd like to find, and that is the interval of a fifth. Can you find and point out a fifth? If you're pointing here, you're correct. From C to G is a fifth. Now, all the other intervals are either repeats or steps. So I think we'll be able to handle those just fine. Let's try to play line 2 on the piano. Now let's focus on these last two measures of line 2 because that's the tricky part. It starts on an F, steps up to G, skips down a third, and then steps down a second to D. So we have F, G, E, D. Looks simple, but actually can be a little tricky. F, G, E, D. Now press pause and try that a few times on your own until you can play it perfectly, then press play to go on. Now let's put that section together with the first half of line 2. When you are king, dilly dilly, I shall be queen. Now, will you press pause and try that line all together? Then press play to go on. Now let's look at line 3. What do you notice about the notes of line 3? If you said they look the same as line 1, you're correct. Remember to check every single note. Sometimes a line will look like it's the same, but there might be one little difference. But if you look carefully, you'll see every note is exactly the same as line 1. So let's go on to line 4. On line 4, we start off the same. 'Twas my own heart, dilly dilly. Now, what interval do you see coming off of that C going to the next note? Can you name that interval? If you said a fourth, you're correct. So we landed on C, we come up a fourth to F, and then what happens? It steps down a second, down a second, down a second. Remember, a second is just a fancy word for a step. So we have F, step down, step down, step down. So the whole line goes, 'Twas my own heart, dilly dilly, that told me so. Now press pause and try that line on your own, then press play to go on. Great, we've learned all the lines. Let's put it together now. If you'd like to try playing along with me, you can, or you can just listen. From the beginning, I'll count 3 beats and then we'll start. 1, 2, 3. Lavender's blue, dilly dilly, lavender's green. When you are king, dilly dilly, I shall be queen. Who told you so, dilly dilly, who told you so? 'Twas my own heart, dilly dilly, that told me so. Great. Now, a few super challenges for you to try. Number 1, see if your left hand can play it. Another challenge would be to try it hands together. And then for a super challenge, you could try transposing it to other positions, like D position, D major. Now, when you're transposing it, you have to think about where is La in our other pentascales? And the answer is La is always a whole step above So. So like in D major, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So, La. La will be B. But where would it be in E major? Let's try in E major. We have lavender's blue, dilly, dilly, Ooh, that doesn't sound right because B to C isn't a whole step. You actually have to use a C sharp if you're in E major. Watch. That's getting pretty advanced. So, if you'd like that extra super challenge, try transposing this once you feel like you have it mastered. Nice work learning how to play Lavender's Blue today. Remember to practice this every day until confident and mastered. Also remember to review your other songs we've learned in this unit and the last unit, always using your best piano posture. Happy practicing and see you next time. Well, that song Lavender's Blue is pretty and all, but could somebody please tell me what it means? Well, you see, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, blue is blue, and green is green, right? Am I right? It's a song about love. Huh? I thought it was just about someone who didn't know their colors very well. When you're in love, which just might happen to you someday, maybe. When you're in love, everything can feel so crazy and amazing that it feels like anything can happen. Kind of a crazy mixed up feeling, but wonderful. Are you speaking from experience? Of course. You mean you've been in love? Well, it's really none of your business, but yes. Okay, what color is your dress? Pink. What color is my mask? Blue. What color is my hair? Black. Wrong. It's dark brown. Come on, it's true. You are losing your sense of color. What? Princess, this is serious. You must be lovesick. We've got to get you back to your senses. Before you know it, you'll be saying the sky is purple and the grass is blue. I'm taking you to the doctor. You've got to be kidding. Come on, Scuba.